Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Dean Howell from CODS. We're an organization dedicated to health and healing, and today I'm going to talk about our parasite protocols. Once you've decided that they're a problem, then what should you do? We think that it's quite important that you be on the right diet, but additionally, we want to start killing the parasites. Now, parasites, especially the worm-shaped ones, they have a lifestyle that revolves around the full moon. So if you've ever read that there's more crimes at the time of the full moon, or that people think that other folks go crazy around the time of the full moon, realize that this is a fact long known even in police departments. They keep the full moon circled because that's the time when they're most likely to see drunk drivers and abusive relationships and stuff like that. And the reason why is that's when the parasites are at their most active. Parasites are where they're host, and so that means that the way that our cravings and bodies operate have to do with how we're being manipulated by the parasite or parasites. So the full moon is when they're most active, and it's the time when they lay eggs, and it's the time that they have the most sex. So this makes them crazy around then, but it also means that they're more exposed. So it's when they are more exposed that we can take the products that help kill them. Now, I've tried many different kinds of parasite programs with no results, and the lack of results was proven because my food cravings remain. It turns out that as you get your parasites under control, your food cravings disappear. So our simplest level 1 parasite purge is the strongest that we know of anywhere on the internet, and we're afraid to sell it to the general public. So if you want to start getting parasite programs from CODS, you need to join our organization. Now, we have our basic and yet quite strong level 1 program is when we increase the dosages even higher is what we call the level 2 program. We actually have a level 3, level 4, and level 5, and before we're willing to prescribe those even stronger killing agents to you, then what we want you to do then is to pay to get advice from my partner Rebecca or myself. So the first 2 levels you have to be a member of CODS, and for the higher 3 levels you have to be a member of CODS who's also signed up and being guided nutritionally by 2 ministers of our church. What we have found is that to kill worms effectively, and this means that you'll start seeing the worms in the diarrhea in your toilet, what we found is that we have to take in large enough dosage of multiple killing agents in order to kill these worms, and this creates side effects. So when you first start out on our simplest program, it may be too much. You could get abdominal cramping, you could get diarrhea, you could get headaches, you could feel sleepy. We actually have people that will sleep 20 hours a day because remember that these worms are living in your tissues. People will try to tell you that worms live in your intestinal tract, and it turns out that that's a small minority of worms. The guys that use cameras to go up into the colon and look at people's insides will report honestly that they've never seen parasites. And that's because the parasites live in our musculature and in our connective tissues. It turns out that biochemically we have a lot in common with pigs and hogs. Perhaps you didn't know that there are pig heart valves that are successfully implanted to replace heart valves in affected humans. So biochemically, the pigs and us are very similar. People are afraid of eating undercooked pork, and the reason they're afraid of eating undercooked pork was the possibility of getting trichinosis, which is a particular kind of parasitic worm. The parasites in the pigs are living in the muscles. What part do we tend to eat? The muscles. So your pork chop, your pork steak, your pork roast, if you don't cook them enough, there could be active parasite eggs in there. Now, you're also being exposed to parasites sometimes even in the air, or by cats or dogs licking you, or shaking hands with someone who's full of parasites. I got one terrible parasite from a mosquito bite where the mosquito transmitted a parasitic organism into me and gave me parasites that live in my legs. So we have to take large enough dosages of parasite-killing medicines in order to kill the worms where they live. So at first, we start out with low dosages, and this may be all you can tolerate. Then each month for about 10 days, centered around the full full moon, we'll do that again and gradually increase the dosages and gradually increase the number of killing agents as well. Now, when we do that, we can get very big worms to come out. On a different video, I will display a 13-foot long worm that I got out of my chest. The body of the worm that I had has 4 37-inch bodies, and they lived in the space between my rib bone. Anyway, the way I got there was to take extremely large doses of parasite-killing medicines along with the right preparation. We're happy to teach you how to do this. So go to our website, angelreadings.live. You can read about what we've posted there, but really what you need to do is to sign up to talk with us after you've joined the church. We can explain these things to you in more detail, and then we can help create your perfected program.